Hello, my name is Michael Pigeon, and I'll be going through the Creative Technology project for my class. First off, I'm choosing to do a freshman high school concert band, and the piece that I'm choosing to do is The Great Locomotive Chase. It's a wonderful piece. The link to the score and the audio recording are linked in the project that I'm submitting in the document. Um, Materials for students. The students will need their instruments, any instrument accessories involving like a neck strap or a harness, bell covers, which is kind of part of what I already have written down, plus that. Sheet music, which will be distributed on the first day, and a pencil. And the teacher is going to need the score, pencil, the baton to conduct, an instrument for themselves, plus instrument accessories for themselves, and required PPE because COVID. My timeline is gonna be three classes a week for 3 weeks, so 9 total classes. Each one gonna be 50-minute classes. So for the first day, the students will receive the music for the repertoire, and it's gonna be a sight reading day. So they'll get the music, we'll run through it, and then the teacher will mark areas in the score that need work or didn't sound great, and then they'll line them out to the students and start focusing on those parts in the piece. Day 2 is what I call spot check. The students will get situated, and now it becomes more repetitive in the beginning because the students will get in the classroom, get their instruments out, warm up on their own, and then we'll all tune up. But day 2 spot check day will, the main core of it all is going to be the teacher will work phrase by phrase from the end of the piece to the beginning. So we'll be working backwards. These are smaller phrases for day 2, maybe 2 bars or 4 bars. Just making sure we really nail in very specifically different sections. And the students will obviously be playing the instructed bars that I conduct, or the teacher conducts. Day 3 is what I call the breakdown day. We'll be breaking down the piece as the previous day until the whole piece has been, broken down. So it's kind of just continuing on what we were doing the previous day and finishing all of that up, because it's a relatively long piece, especially in terms of bars. So breakdown day, we'll get situated, instruments out, warming up on their own, and then tuning. And then we'll go into getting back into breaking the rest down. Day 4 is what I call the review day. Once again, students get situated with their instruments, warm-up time, and then they'll tune. And then this is the review day, so we're basically going to be taking like bigger chunks, or going through the exact same smaller chunks that we have been, and just reviewing them, making sure that we can play through them all. And I noted in the document that it'll move faster simply because it's a review, but it'll still take up the whole period because we're going to go through the entire thing. Day 5, I called this add to breakdown. The students will get situated with instruments, warm up on their own, students will tune, and then the teacher will give a short lecture, a brief lecture on phrasing / and dynamic contrast, and we'll have the students play examples of dynamic contrast. The teacher will play it themselves, students will mirror it. So if we're looking for fortissimo gradually down to pianissimo, then I'll play it and do the very exaggerated decrescendo, and the students will mimic it. And then once the lecture is done, the teacher will conduct from end to beginning, so working backwards in 8-bar phrases as opposed to the shorter 2 or 4-bar phrases previously. This just allows them to work on the phrasing shape in a more realistic sense. A lot of phrases are 8 bars, not a whole lot are 2. That's usually half of a phrase, 2 or 4 bars, half a phrase. Day 6, I call it continue large breakdown. Once again, same routine in the beginning, but this time the whole piece will finish off the 8-bar phrasing, and by the end of this class, we will have completed the entire piece in phrases. If there's any free time at the end, I noted that we'll be reviewing certain sections of the piece that still need work. Day 7, I call this day the pre-activity time. Same routine, and then the teacher will give a brief lecture on conducting basic patterns and maybe even showing shaping of phrasing with their other hand. And while we do this, the students will have their hands out, drum major style, and conduct their own and mirror or mimic the teacher, what they're doing. Once again, any free time at the end of the period, we'll be reviewing certain sections of the piece. Day 8, activity time. Same routine, and then we'll play through the entire piece while the teacher conducts. The teacher will give another brief review over conducting and phrasing while the students once again mimic it. And then the students will take turns at the podium conducting certain 8 bars of the piece. So this will be like, I have a student here. Why don't you come up and play measures 24 to 28, or conduct measure 24, 28, and the rest of the band will play. This is just so that they all get an inner core feel of what the piece will be like in each phrase even. And they'll all take turns doing that. Coming up, doing 8 bars, and then, holding what they did, because it's a big time. They haven't conducted really probably ever, so they'll definitely know how it feels. Day 9, I call it finishing activity. The students will get situated, same routine. We'll play through the entire piece again, and then the rest of the students who didn't go the previous day will conduct the 8 bars again. And then to finish off the class, because this is the last day of the lessons, the students will read the entire piece to finish the class off. And really the creative activity or project that the students do is the conducting. I know it seems very brief here, but it's just an activity that I've never done before, and I've never conducted really until college in the classes. And I think it's important that you really get a better feel inside when you play if you've conducted it too. I know that true to myself as well as a lot of my other peers in music. So having them conduct, especially such a fun piece like the Great Locomotive Chase, it'll definitely set them up for success when they're playing. They'll be able to understand and maybe hear different parts that they didn't hear when they were sitting in the ensemble. But my rubric, my integrated component rubric, the lesson component is the usage of time and student performance. And I have all the categories listed out and the rest of the citations that I use. But that is my creative technology project. Thank you.